Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. I'm back, and I'm very happy to be back. I come back at an interesting time for our global community. And so rather than offer a gratitude this morning before we go to our wonderful musicians, I thought I would invite you into a prayer for Ukraine. So please join me in this understanding. Here and now in this moment, regardless of outer circumstances, the truth of the matter is that there is a divine intelligence operating, a very potent wisdom moving through the people of Ukraine, the leadership, those who are working diligently for peace, working in the caregivers and the workers that are assisting people on the front lines and behind the scenes. This divine intelligence is operating in you and in me as well. And what I know is that it is backed by a love that has no limit and knows no limit in you or me, in the Ukrainian people, in the Russian people. So I ground into this love that has no limit, refusing to allow my heart to close, refusing to allow rage or anger or upset to take me off the center, knowing that right there with the Ukrainian people is a love and a wisdom that defies understanding, that creates miracles, that opens doors in mind and spirit and in actuality. As I focus on this, I refuse to allow my mind to condemn in any way any person involved in this struggle, knowing that each is moving sometimes with closed mind, closed heart, but nonetheless filled with spirit, and that miracles can happen even there. So as I hold myself in this place of divine love flowing in my heart and my mind and my spirit, knowing that intelligence is operating for the Ukrainian people, their leaders, and all who are supporting them, knowing that the same intelligence and love is flowing in the Russian people, I am grateful, knowing that the highest outcome that I can envision is even superseded by a vision much larger and much more beautiful than that which I in my human mind can conceive. I hold, though, to that vision, to an outcome that is supreme, that manifests as clarity and peace. And in gratitude for knowing this and holding this in mind, now and as things unfold, I release my word knowing that there is a law that takes this word and manifests it deeply, and that my prayer and yours are joined together with prayers that are globally operating in every country now, forming a shield of love and wisdom unlike anything we have seen in the modern world. I am so grateful. Please join me in saying, wherever you are, and so it is. Thank you. Let's go over to our wonderful band today. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody out there in internet land. Please join us for our first song, Power of Love. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open by spirit and by grace. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. the power of love. We are the power of love. We are the power of love. We are the power of love. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome
Good morning, everyone. My name is Philip Flores, and I am a licensed practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living, Bellingham. Please join me for this opening invocation. God is love, and love is God. And this divine love encompasses all, here and now and always. And it operates through me, through you, through this world, and through all creation. And I am this love. I embrace this love. I express this love easily and effortlessly. And I love this life. I love this community. And I love this world. And this divine love is everywhere present. It's in the morning rains, in the afternoon clouds, in the night sky. This love is everywhere. And I accept it, I embrace it, and I know it is for me and it is for you. And so as I go into this morning service, I express love easily and allow it to be as it is, perfect, whole, and complete. And so it is.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart let go of fear. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear. Alleluia. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love, see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. Alleluia. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, welcome back again. And The topic for today is the theme for the month, which is love as a verb. And it's embedded in our larger theme for the year, grounded in spirit, which certainly in these times, that's a very powerful theme to work with, grounded in spirit. So love as a verb to me is a way of talking about how we need to be in love, and how we can allow love to work us, basically. So I've brought you a quote from one of my favorite authors in the relational world. He's a magnificent therapist who's written a number of books, How to Be an Adult in Relationship, and many others. And his name is David Rico. And so this is what he has to say. Our identity is like a kaleidoscope. With each turn, we reset, not to a former or final state, but to a new one that reflects the here and now positions of the pieces we have to work with. The design is always new because the shifts are continual. That is what makes kaleidoscopes and us so appealing and beautiful. And so, I don't know about you, but as a kid, I was fascinated by kaleidoscopes. I thought they were the most amazing thing, hold it up to the light and turn the little thing, and the pieces keep rearranging themselves in beautiful patterns. And so it's a very apt analogy that Rico is bringing to us about how our lives are. That, I don't know if you've noticed on the spiritual path, but the pieces that we get to work with are continually rearranging themselves and changing, setting us on a new understanding and a new way of being in the world, continually, over and over and over again. And of course, the reason that's important on a spiritual path is, at least in my experience, sacred humans without a spiritual focus really like to snuggle in to comfort. And they like to kind of be with their habits and their ways of living in the world that, if we're not careful, can actually become almost a prison of habits and ways of thinking and mindsets and all kinds of stuff. And so those of us who have stepped onto a spiritual path have actually invited a different process to be acting for us. And the process is one of continual growth and opening, which isn't always very comfortable. I have to admit, there's been many, many, many times on my spiritual path where I have confronted or been in a situation where it's obvious that I have been viewing something or living from a more limited perspective or way of being, and I'm being invited into a larger life. And it sounds wonderful, but changing from a smaller circle to a larger circle involves stepping into the unknown. So it's always really interesting to me to work with the kaleidoscope of spiritual change. And the founder of the Science of Mind philosophy, Dr. Ernest Holmes, was very, very aware of both the tendency that humans have to want to have the one and only, the final answer, the way it is, and so that they can just live from that. And a lot of our spiritual traditions have created rules and guidelines that, if we're not careful, we take to be the last and final word, and we live out from one way of viewing those guidelines without really opening to a larger perspective, a kaleidoscope perspective that might shift them into inviting us into a larger way of being as a spiritual human being. So Dr. Holmes referred to this tendency of humans to want to stay, in the very safe lane by saying, that's really not what we're here for. We're actually here to evolve and to grow. We're here to be open at the top, not only of our philosophy, but as sacred humans, open to what life will begin to operate with us and through us as. So I've brought a couple of stories that have been pivotal in my understanding of this, and they're interesting stories. I've been babysitting my newest grandson, And I've been watching him kind of move from very, very newborn to his eye color starting to establish itself, his awake times longer, so he's more aware of what's going on. I've watched his body start to kind of begin to grow rather rapidly, and so some discomfort and changes as that's happening. And it's such a perfect metaphor for what I'm going to tell you about. And also keep in mind that these stories are stories of change, so they might not be comfortable for you. So the first one is a story that I've held close to my heart. It's really short, and it's in the book After the Ecstasy, the Laundry by Jack Kornfield. And so he's talking about being in Indonesia, where he first encountered Buddhism and became a Buddhist monk, but had gone back years later. So he's visiting and says, several years ago, I was in Indonesia visiting a number of shamans and healers. My translator told me that his uncle had been a famous healer, but after many years had stopped completely. When I asked about this, he explained, well, my uncle was a rice farmer who learned to heal by meditating and going into a trance. From the first day he started healing people, the energy of the gods would come to help him see the illness in his patients. They would show him which herbs to use and where to touch. For 20 years, the gods came. But then one day, the gods stopped appearing. So my uncle told people he could no longer heal and went back to being a farmer. Jack's comment on this, he says, this is an amazing integrity to follow that understanding that, all right, the gods have stopped showing up, so I must have completed my journey as a healer, and I'm going to go back to what I know. And why is that important to me, and why would it maybe be important to you? Well, for me, you know, it's pointing to the need for attention to what's happening in our life day by day, moment by moment, year by year, and asking us to be awake in our lives and to what's happening. I mean, for most of us, we've been raised with the understanding that we have this job, we do this job, and we get to the end of our working life, and we've either held the same job or a multitude of jobs that we're committed to, and we just keep going until we stop. But actually, that's not the way Spirit works. Honestly, it isn't. Spirit's constantly wanting the kaleidoscope of our life to shift into new awarenesses, new pieces, new patterns. And so sometimes what that means is that if we're awake enough in our life, we have to confront the fact that we're done with a particular phase, or we need to involve ourselves more fully in a place or a situation that we've been kind of not wanting to deal with. And so paying attention, being mindful of what's actually really happening in our lives is a very powerful tool for opening to a greater life, to a greater expression of who we are and what we are. Now, you know, in that story, he went back to farming, and that might seem appalling. You know, here you've been this glorious healer of people for 20 years, and now you're going to go back? But I have a feeling that rice farmer didn't go back the same person, because we can't. The kaleidoscope had shifted him into a new place of understanding and offering a gift, and that shift is permanent. It's not illusory. So for me, that story, I've held it close to my heart as a way of reminding myself on actually a fairly regular basis, like almost every day, am I doing the life that I want to be doing? Am I showing up in my life in the way that I'm called to show up? Am I listening to the inner guidance that I'm receiving and responding to it? Or unfortunately, I've done this a lot, and maybe you have too. Or when the inner guidance comes, do I argue with it and say, well, but I'm busy. I can't do that right now. I don't know. I don't know if you do that. I've done that multiple times. And part of my spiritual learning, part of the kaleidoscope turning for me has been stop arguing with spirit. This is your inner guidance speaking to you. Yeah, it might be hard to figure out how to do what spirit's asking. But my goodness, I don't think the rice farmer argued. And so it's an important story for me to remind myself, okay, follow the truth of where you are right now, not leaning into the past of how it's always been. So that's the first story that came to me when I was preparing the talk. And then I was sitting there, thinking, okay, well, that's good. A story is always good, I thought one story is plenty. And then 2 more came. And I was like, well, 3 in 20 minutes is a little much. So I chose one of the 2. We'll see if the other one stays quiet. Stories visit me. And this one actually, this is a beautiful story about the spiritual teacher Ram Dass. And many of you know of Ram Dass, but if you haven't heard of him, look him up on the web. He's quite an extraordinary teacher in many ways. And in particular, this story speaks to love as a verb, which I really want to talk to you about. So Ram Dass was a rich friend of Jack Kornfield. And so in May of 1998, at Spirit Rock Meditation Center, which is Jack Kornfield's center, they hosted a huge benefit for the medical care of Ram Dass, who had suffered a major stroke the year before. And so after almost a year of rehabilitation, Ram Dass was able to talk again, although haltingly, and he still had to grope for words. So at the end of this benefit day, his wheelchair was placed on the stage so he could speak. Noting to much laughter that he had been warned that it was tacky to come to one's own benefit, and that's why he came, Ram Dass addressed his predicament and question of identity. For years, I practiced as a karma yogi, the path of service. I wrote books about learning to serve, about how to help others. Now it is reversed. I need people to help me get up and put me to bed. I need people to feed me. And I can tell you it's harder to be the one who is helped than the helper. But this is just another stage. I feel like I died and have been reborn over and over in this very life. In the 60s, I was a professor at Harvard, and when that ended, I went out with Timothy Leary spreading psychedelics. Then in the 70s, I died from that and returned from India as Baba Ram Dass, the guru. Then in the 80s, my life was all about service, co-founding the Seva Foundation, building hospitals, and working with refugees and prisoners. Over all these years, I played cello, golf, drove my MG. But since this stroke, the car is in the driveway, the cello and the golf clubs are in the closet. Now, if I think I'm the guy who can't play cello or drive or work in India, I would feel terribly sorry for myself. But I'm not him. During the stroke, I died again, and now I have a new life in a disabled body. This is where I am. You've got to be here now. You've got to take the curriculum in front of you. Isn't that powerful? And the reason that's a powerful story, of course, is that he's teaching a very potent lesson about acceptance. But I want to take it a little further and talk to you about love, because this is the last talk of a whole month of talks on love. Love, like everything else, evolves on our path through our walk as a sacred human, if we let it. And it's critical to consider Ram Dass's story from the perspective of looking back on your own understanding of love, what it meant to you at different phases of your life, how you responded to love and how you gave love in different times of your life, and where we are now with love. Because love evolves us. And as we are evolved in love, we have the opportunity, if we're awake and here now with it, to express love in even more mighty ways than we ever have before. We can encompass things that we never ever thought were possible to do with love. We can love people that up until this phase of our life seemed unlovable. We can use love to heal, forgive, and open doorways for ourselves and other people. But what it takes is the awareness of what love is seeking to do by means of us. And remember that part about arguing with the divine guidance? In the area of love, in my counseling practice and as a minister, I've seen over and over people arguing about what they're being instructed to love. It's amazing, and yet so understandable. We argue with divine guidance all the time. So why would people argue with the guidance about love? Well, you know, for me, I can only speak for myself, but what I understand is that there have been times in my journey where my heart has closed toward a person or a political figure or a societal situation or a global situation. And in that closed state, the guidance has come. This is not the one, my love. This is not the way. This is not how to handle this situation. You truly must open your heart, open your mind, and find a way to love even in this situation, even that person, even that global crisis. You must open to the love that can flow in this situation through you. It's a mighty task. When the heart is closed, it's like a river hitting a dam and the love backing up, and not able to flow very strongly. And the guidance is, let the dam go. Open the door. Allow the love that you are to show in new ways, to flow mightily. Allow the love that is eternal to find new ways of shaping you and how you are in the world. It really is a very powerful opportunity that we have right now in our world. You may have noticed, certainly I have, that in the last 2 years of this pandemic, many hearts have closed. They've closed for various reasons. You're not vaccinated. You're wrong. Or why would you put poison in your body? You're wrong. Hearts have closed between families. Hearts have closed across the political spectrum. Hearts have closed in a global way. Borders have closed. Just a metaphor for what happens internally. So here we are 2 years later after this scourge. And all along the way, if you're like me, you've been presented with opportunity after opportunity to love anyway, to love mightily, to keep the heart open, to be the flexible servant of the indwelling one. Does it mean that this person's right and this person's wrong? Love doesn't know that language. You may have noticed. Love doesn't know right and wrong. It knows and both, not either or. And that's the vastest form of love that can flow in Sacred Humans, is to move beyond boundaries, beyond borders, beyond judgment, beyond condemnation, beyond all of the mindsets that would keep us closed, to love finding new ways through us and to open. So I'm going to close today by giving you a quote from Thomas Merton, who is a mighty Christian mystic monk. And one of the things that he encouraged everyone to do, and through all of his writings, was no matter what was presented in another human being, to look for their sacred heart, to look for the sacredness in them, and then to open the door to that part. as a practice, as a way of finding ways beyond the judgment, the condemnation, the boundaries, the borders, the rights and the wrongs. And you know what? We can do that. You can do that. I can do that. Maybe not very well right at first. It might be a little clumsy. But the more we want that kind of love to flow in us, the more it will. The more it will flow in ways that grow us, turn the kaleidoscope, the pieces fall into a new order, and we are lifted, enhanced, opened. So I'm going to do a prayer for that. And I'm going to encourage all of us, including me, to pay close attention day by day to when the heart is open and when the heart is closed. When we're called to something new and have the opportunity to stop arguing. So here we go. Join me in this knowing. I speak this word for myself as I know it for anyone here listening who may also accept this prayer, allowing it to operate fully. And in this knowing, I first give thanks. I give thanks for love that has no limit in me, in the world, in anything. Always, always the possibility of a greater love flowing in me and in the world is there. It's there because it is there, just awaiting my attention and my willingness to open to it. It waits, and as I open, it flows. So I accept for myself and anyone here that love is flowing in new ways through us, through me, through you, and in the world. Now you may think, and sometimes I think, oh, this is so gloriously optimistic when the whole world is falling apart. Isn't this just a little too woo-woo? And to that I say, no. No. If we look back through all of the history of sacred humans, love always prevails. Love always prevails. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's shorter. And in me this day, I accept that love prevails, that it opens my heart in places that have been closed to other people, to situations, and to the world. It opens my mind to new ideas, new ways of serving, new ways of bringing this love into actual expression. It opens the places of mind and heart that have been struggling. And I find the strength and the courage and the inspiration to move forward in love, doing what I can do in my world. I allow love to direct that action. But action I am called into. So I no longer sit back, but instead allow love to propel me forward into action in the ways that I am called to bring who I am and the love that I am into expression in service to all the world. I know that this takes place with grace and ease, and that any tendency on my part to be afraid is dismissed in the bright light of love. And so I am love in action, grateful for the opportunity in this lifetime to bring my full self, my full heart into expression in service to all that is. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Got a small crew here. We're going to have some wonderful music by our band, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the exciting things that are happening at the center. Don't forget, there's a donate button on our website. We'd love you to send some money our way. We thank you in advance for any gift that you can give, and for all of you who support us on a regular basis, thank you so much.
I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. When I stumble, I lead by the light of my faith, shining both night and day, shining both night and day. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of peace. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of peace. When I see your face, I see God's light guiding you on your way, guiding you on your way. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of freedom. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of freedom. With conviction so sound, I know that now is the time to pray. Now is the time to pray. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love.
Kathy, Eric, and Robin, so glad you're back. So glad you're back. So here's a couple of things that you might want to know about. Today we have a really wonderful thing happening at noon. It's a workshop that's free to you, that's offered by some of our practitioners, and it's a lovely opportunity. It's an hour and a half, very experiential and interactive, of understanding how the law of cause and effect can actually be utilized in your life to open doorways, to open hearts, to be in a new and even more wonderful life. This is offered on Zoom, and the Zoom link is on our website, and we'd love you to participate. And then there's a final workshop happening next Sunday from noon to 1:30 that is called Starting Your Spiritual Toolkit. And it'll really review and open what tools you can use for different parts of your expression. So take advantage of these lovely offerings from our practitioners. We also have been hosting a pre-service community room on Zoom right before our 10:30 service on Sundays. And we said that we would go through the end of February and then assess. And so I know a lot of you are like, when are we going back in person? And I will definitely let you know soon. I just returned back. I need to really spend some time looking at what's been said while I was away. But I will tell you this, that the pre-service community room is going to remain open until the day that we start in-person services. And I can tell you that that will either be in-person will start again, as well as hybrid, either the 13th or the 20th. And I'm thinking probably the 20th, but I will let you know. Just check our website, or if you're not on Constant Contact, you might want to sign up for that, because we do send out regular information and notices about what's happening. We'd love to have you be on that. We're also investigating who among our members would like to serve on our board of directors. And if you have been a member for a year, you've had one Signs of Mind class or are taking one right now, and you're wanting to serve, please let us know by emailing the office, and we'll put you in touch with the nominating committee, and they'll be very excited to hear from you. This Wednesday evening, I'm hosting a global new members meeting for any of you here locally, as well as those of you who have been listening to our services for a time now who would like to perhaps become a member of our center. And we'd love you to participate. It is a requirement for membership that you participate in a new member meeting. So this one is being held on Zoom at 6 o'clock this Wednesday for about an hour and 15 minutes. We'd love you to come. You do need to register in advance so that we know that you're coming, because we'll send you the materials that normally when we have one of these meetings, we have paper copies for people to fill out and also to read about things. So this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m., sign up for that if you'd like to be a member. I'm really excited to see some of you on that Zoom. And we're very excited. You may have been hearing that we are returning to offering one of the most wonderful things that we do as an event for our community. We call it Gourmets for Good. And it's an opportunity for those of us who love to cook to create a meal and offer it for bid. And then people who would like to take part in that meal bid for a place at the table. And so right now we're just letting you know that that's on the horizon. We're going to open the Gourmet for Good host forms on March 20th. Those forms will be on the website, and you can fill those out and get them to us if you would like to host a dinner or a lunch or a picnic or a hike with a sack lunch or whatever creative thing might be yours to offer. And then later, we will have the opportunity for bidding on those dinners and offerings. Why do we do that? A lot of people think we do that for money, and that's certainly lovely. But actually, particularly this year, and actually for always, we do it to get community members to know each other and to appreciate each other and maybe find some new friends. So I'm very excited about this year's season because it will put us back in touch after being gone from one another for 2 years. So put your thinking caps on, chefs, cooks, and in March, let us know what maybe you would like to offer. That's going to be wonderful. Also, I wanted to let you know that if you are interested in the Science of Mind and Recovery group that meets here on Wednesdays, they are now back in person starting this Wednesday. They meet from 5:30 to 6:30, and it's an opportunity to look at the principles of the Science of Mind as applied to the recovery path. Also, don't forget that our practitioners are offering morning prayers at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and evening gratitudes at 8:45 Monday through Friday on Zoom. Those links are also on our website, and we'd love you to be a part of that. They're very supportive. I want to thank all of you here in my in-person audience, and thank you for tuning in to us. Have a blessed week, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you.